Hey, welcome back to the High Impact Flicks channel. I just got back from my 2-week suspension because censorship. If you do me a favor, take some time right now to subscribe to my other channels on my other platforms. All those links are in the description. Looks like they want to launch some brand new technology at us so they can scan everybody in a crowded room and detect hidden firearms in public places. Stay tuned. If you're out camping or you've hit hard times and there's no potable water anywhere to be found, just take your solar cooker with you, dip it in a lake, stream, or pond, open it up, put it out in the sun, and within hours you're going to have potable, sterilized drinking water. My link for your massive discount is in the description below.
Somebody passed this video along to me the other day. Listen to this. New weapons detection technology aims to spot guns in crowds.
The daily drumbeat of gun violence happening in schools, malls, and even houses of worship across the country has changed the way we live. It's led some businesses and other places that attract large crowds to invest in ways to screen people and spot guns before they get inside. ABC's Jay O'Brien has a look at one of these popular gun detecting devices and sees if it really works.
To get inside every one of the 27 Six Flags parks across North America, visitors now have to walk through one of these, an Evolve Express scanner.
Any place that's open to the public.
An Evolve Express scanner. I wonder if the criminals will look at this, and I wonder if they'll take a look at the landscape of the technology that's forming against what they want to use for criminal activities and become smarter criminals. I wonder if that'll happen. I wonder if that's ever happened in the history of mankind.
Has to have a plan.
Jason Freeman, the company's head of safety and security, made the decision to install them at his amusement parks 2 years ago.
We don't want somebody coming into our parks that may have a nefarious agenda.
Have a Six Flags day.
Guess what? People are going to come into your parks with nefarious agendas, and they're usually dressed as drag queens.
Designed to spot hidden handguns, knives, and even bombs, the machines use similar electromagnetic waves to a metal detector, but there's no line or X-ray for bags. Evolve co-founder Anil Chikara told us his company's scanners use advanced sensors and artificial intelligence to learn the subtle differences in density between your keys, for example, and a weapon.
Build a better mousetrap, create a smarter mouse.
Bags on, holding hands, phones in their pocket. They're getting screened, but they don't realize it.
Walking through an Evolve scanner is increasingly becoming the price of entry at NFL stadiums.
Then guess what? I'm not going to enter. I'm not going in there. Ain't no way. If I did go to football games and they started putting this up right here, I'm not going to football games. If I did go to skate parks, wouldn't be going to skate parks anymore. If they start putting this into, malls and all that kind of stuff, which I don't. When was the last time I went to a mall? Years ago. Wouldn't be going to the mall. They start doing this, going into some kind of a farmer's market. I guess that farmer's market is going to get business. My business is going to go somewhere else. Not going to be entering a gun-free criminal, because criminals will be empowered on this right here. They'll find a way to bring a firearm in there. You might not be as clever as those criminals, but those criminals are out there. They're working the formulas right now. How can we get this? Oh man, this almost ensures that I'm going to have a safe working environment, because they're going to go through these scanners and they won't have the technology or the know-how or the nefarious means that we have to do the things that we want to do. We'll make sure they're actually doing our job for us, says the criminals. This works in favor of criminals, guys. Think about how resourceful criminals are in maximum security prisons. You can't have alcohol. How do they have alcohol then? They ferment like banana peels or whatever. They'll get it some way. You can't have weapons. They have weapons. You can't get drugs. They have drugs. You probably couldn't do it, but man, they're sitting around 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, thinking, how can I ferment gummy bears? How can I create gummy bears? It's almost like the free market starts springing out of nothing. It's like going to a all concrete parking lot and going, how in the heck does that flower grow out of a crack in the concrete? That's what happens. Tyranny suppresses you, and the free spirit of man starts creating. It's the mother of invention. They'll come up with a way. Oh, you can't have tattoos in prison. How do inmates go in without tattoos and then come out with tattoos? Oh, that's right. They create tattoo guns in maximum security cells. Are you going to tell me that a criminal can't figure out in the free world how to get around this little contraption right here so that he's ensured to be the only one with a firearm? The only one. This right here almost makes it an ironclad prospect for this guy. He goes, I want a safe working environment. Oh my gosh, technology is absolutely working for me. Because while the regular citizenry, they just want to comply. They just want to be law abiders. Me, on the other hand, I work outside of that framework. I'm creative and I really want to hurt people. So I'll bring my weapons in there. They might not, they won't catch me, but they'll definitely catch all these other people. Maybe you want to walk into that event. Maybe you want to go to an NFL game and you want to be armed. Well, you're going to have to leave your gun at home. And then the only people, guaranteed, almost 100%, that are going to be in there are going to be the criminals who have evil intentions.
Museums and schools across the country.
The whole idea is let the technology do the hard work with the security team overseeing it and let the visitors walk right through.
We wanted to test it out. Anil was lit up with an alert.
You think if I knew Six Flags, can't remember the last time I've been to Six Flags or some kind of theme park or whatever. It's been years and years. But if I knew that they had this, I would automatically not go. Or if I found out later after I bought my ticket, I'd be like, I want a refund. Why do you want a refund? Because you have this Evolve thing and you're trying to actually give criminals a pass while you slap the hand of the law abiders. You schmuckety schmucks.
Which, along with his picture,
this stuff right here doesn't keep you safe, guys. It doesn't keep you safe.
Was sent to the Six Flags security team. The system had detected a metal prop hidden in Anil's waistband, mimicking the outline of a gun.
Yeah, that's how easy it's going to be.
Nothing I had in my pockets caused any concern.
It didn't catch this, but it caught that.
That's correct.
But sometimes Evolve's scanners are set off by things that aren't weapons. ABC News obtained...
Sometimes it doesn't work the way it's supposed to work. Huh? You don't say. Really? Really, do tell.
Emails from one of the largest school districts in North Carolina. After Evolve scanners were installed there last spring, one principal complained the multi-million-dollar rollout caused a day of chaos, with many students carrying no weapons but alerting the machines. The principal later wrote to a parent that metal 3-ring binders tended to set off the system. In response, Evolve told us their technology is intended to find things that could be weapons and is constantly improving.
Do you know that that 3-ring binder can actually be used to do a great deal of harm? Of course we caught the 3-ring binder.
Are there times where it will say something as a weapon?
Somebody walks in there with like a plastic shank or something, and you could have been armed, but that scanner told you to leave the firearm outside. This is a Constitution-free zone. We don't know if we told you, but this is a Second Amendment-free zone. This is a criminal empowerment, fish in a barrel zone, and you are going to be the victim.
When it's not?
So the way the algorithms work is they get better over time. They're very good at understanding items of interest and alerting, and they're very good at understanding personal items and not alerting on them.
Evolve's technology isn't meant to stop a gunman with an assault rifle. It's intended for smaller weapons.
What? What did you just say? Listen to what he said.
Alerting on them.
Evolve's technology isn't meant to stop a gunman with an assault rifle. It's intended for smaller weapons carried into places that attract big crowds.
Oh.
That's the idea here in West Virginia's Fayette County. School Superintendent Gary Hoke told us his district would sometimes catch students with knives, even guns, in the hallways. But he says the Evolve scanners, which were installed last year after a grant from the company, have significantly reduced the number.
Oh, a grant. With a grant from let's see, who would be funding this? I wonder if it's the same people who fund the scanners that you find in airports around the United States. I wonder if we employed the investigative directive, follow the money. I wonder where that money would lead us, that money trail would lead us to.
Of weapons found on his campuses.
It really is a deterrent. I mean, it's one more tool.
Hogue told us the story of one.
It's not a deterrent for criminals. It makes criminals more resourceful.
who tossed this pair of brass knuckles in a flower pot so they wouldn't be caught by the machines. And as schools reopen, it might not be long before you or your child walk through a scanner just like this one.
We see schools.
And then on the medical side of it, what is this scanner putting into you? How is it changing the genetic makeup of your being? What's going on with it? Are we going to find out in 10 or 20 years that, oh my gosh, people are developing pancreatic cancer or brain cancer, or they're getting, bone cancer, or these tumors are growing on them? Okay, can you trace back what was going on? Yeah, we went to, the NFL games. We went to Six Flags. Our kids were in school. We were going through these scanners constantly. As a matter of fact, it got to a point in society where we couldn't walk out of our houses without going through a scanner or being checked by a drone in the air. I mean, we got to keep people safe. We got to give up our essential liberties so that we can have some politically promised security. Don't you understand? That's how society works.
Adopting this technology so that the kids can focus on learning and the teachers can focus on teaching.
Holy schmoly. That's not the kind of world I want to live in. Not the kind of world I want to live in at all. As a matter of fact, probably your mother and father or grandmother or grandfather, like mine, when they went to school, they were carrying their .22 rifles to school. When I was going to school back in the 80s, the guys who were hunters, they had their shotguns and their long rifles in a rack in the back of their truck, in the back window, displayed for all to see in the back window of their truck. And we didn't have school shootings back then. Not anything like you see right now. Am I saying there were zero school shootings? I'm just saying wasn't being reported. And when our parents went to school, our grandparents went to school, you could have the gun in the back of the 4th grade classroom.
While we have time and it still retains some of its perceived value, maybe it'd be a good idea to convert your worthless fiat into valuable, storable food. Don't be the one who waits till the food riots start happening. You don't want to be fighting panicking people in the store over that last jar of peanut butter. At Prepare with High Impact Flicks, you can get up to 3 air and watertight gasket sealed ammo cans, each filled with a 4-week emergency supply. 7 food varieties, 2,000 calories a day, 284 servings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and each meal comes in a resealable, heavy-duty 4-layered pouch. And it's got a 25-year shelf life. Every order of a 4-week supply gets you $100 off plus free shipping. Here's how simple it is to make. I'm going to cook up some Granny's home-style potato soup. People are going to think I'm a culinary hero. You open the pouch, boil 4.5 cups of water, stir the contents, simmer on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes, take it off the heat, then let it set for 2 to 3 minutes before you serve it up.
Man, this stuff's so good. People are going to think Granny stopped by and filled your kitchen with a whole bunch of love.
Well, if Granny does stop by, she's going to fill your behind with a whole bunch of buckshot if you keep talking with your mouth full. Wipe your dang beard off. It's embarrassing. So maybe convert some of your worthless fiat into valuable food while you still can. Order now and get $100 off of up to 3 4-week emergency food supplies at preparewithhighimpactflix.com. The link is in the description.